One of the things that I most strongly believe as a truth in my life is that my daughter Lily was meant to be my daughter. She is adopted from China, and there's a saying in China, a belief about a red thread, and what the saying is that there is an invisible red thread that connects those who are destined to meet regardless of time, space, and circumstance. The thread may tangle or stretch, but will never break. I believe so strongly that that red thread connects Lily and I. And when we went over to China, we had been through a series of miscarriages, and a series of signs led us to China to adopt a baby girl. And she had been living with a foster family since 3 months old, and so she was very attached to her family and very happy with them. They were wonderful. And so when she was handed to us, it wasn't a happy circumstance for her. It was frightening and it was different. She was all of a sudden handed into the hands of two people that she didn't know, who spoke a different language, who brought her to a different country, and yet she was very resilient. She had such strength and bravery in her transition, and she absolutely connected and created a bond with me that I am so grateful for. The strength of it is somewhat of a verification of the fact that she was meant to be with me, because going through that difficult transition and then coming to the place where she came to, where we were inseparable and happy together, reassured me that that decision that we made was correct. I remember one time when she was 4 years old, we were driving to preschool. She was in the back seat singing, and then all of a sudden I hear her little voice say, "Mama, I know you tried to hold me in your belly." And it just blew me away, because I had had a miscarriage before we got Lily. And I remember praying, "Please come back to me." I felt that that little soul that I had carried for a while had been taken from me, and I prayed for her to come back in a subsequent pregnancy. In fact, it seemed that when she said that, it felt like some kind of a verification that she really did come back to me. In the long run, the only way that we will really be able to verify it is if at the end of Lily's life that she looks back and says to herself, "Yes, that was where I was meant to land." What it comes down to is that I truly believe in the red thread theory, and that invisible red thread that led Lily to us, to our family, is meant to be. And that her being my daughter is a truth in my life.
The title of a little tract by St. Augustine has been running through my head lately, De Fide Rerum Quae Non Videntur, which is translated, "Our faith in things unseen." It has come to me like a mandate in my present situation. I'm now a widower. I was married for 60 years to a beautiful lady who died 5 years ago. She was lovely, charming, learned, and was the sunniest person I have ever known. I attempted a poem, a sonnet, a few years ago after her death, which I include here. Now, on the cusp of this returning spring, I look for brightnesses amid the sere. Small spots of color, crocus, anything, easy enough to find when she was here. She was the fire that clarified my sight. The stricken earth grew green with her regard. Blossoms and snow embraced the meager light. She taught me how to hope, but now it's hard to see where dying stops and lives begin. Where are you, Blessed One? I need more school to resurrect the stricken heart within. The spring will surely come, but oh, my soul, finish the lesson. She has shown us how. Remembrance of her brave love. must guide us now. To return to the faith in things unseen, I find at 88 that much of my life is now rooted in things unseen. More than anything in the world, I want to see her again, to see that she is well and happy. Not only Sister Ellen Virgil, but also parents, brothers, friends, and above all, my sweetheart, and of course, our Lord God, are in the invisible world, which my faith tells me exists, but which I have spent relatively little of my life thinking about. I have always admired the capacity of some people to live partly there, where so many of our ideas, values, beliefs, and loved ones are now. Without cutting any ties with the visible world, I aspire to become that kind of person. As for verification, I must wait. The Father in Mark 9:23 tells Jesus, "Lord, I do believe. Help thou my unbelief." I say amen to that.